Amelia Mary Earhart was born on July 24, 1897, in Atchison, Kansas. Since she was 3, she lived with her grandparents in Atchison, Kansas while her parents were away. When Amelia's father found a job at the railroad company, her family moved to Des Moines. Her family consisted of her mother, Amy, her father, Edwin, and her sister, Pidge. In her childhood, Amelia enjoyed horseback riding and often rode on a horse without her grandparents knowing. She loved roller coasters and listening to music. She was very interested in flying. She later moved to St. Paul, where she went to St. Paul Central High School. She enjoyed playing basketball, and she played on the basketball team. Her mother and sister moved to Chicago, Illinois, while her father lived at his sister's house in Kansas City, Missouri, to find a job. Amelia lived with her grandparents for a month before joining her mother and sister. Once she was there, she attended Hyde Park High School for her senior year. Then she moved to Kansas City, Missouri. Later, she went to Ogontz College in Philadelphia, 1916, but she dropped out of college to help the soldiers in Toronto, Canada. She had wanted to be a doctor, so she attended Columbus University in New York. Since her parents were having troubles in Los Angeles, they asked Amelia to help, and she had to drop out of college. She moved to Los Angeles the summer of 1920. There, she liked to attend air meets. One day in December 1920, her father spent $10 for her to ride a plane for 10 minutes. Soon she was taking flying lessons with her teacher, Netta. She worked at a telephone company to help pay for her lessons. Then her mother bought her an Airster, which is a plane, for her 40th birthday. In the fall of 1921, she was flying in the air meets. Her next goal was to fly solo. She had been flying with Netta for a while, and soon one day she could fly solo, knowing the right techniques, for example, emergency landings. She then returned to Columbus University, but soon ran out of money and she had to drop out. Now George Putnam, a man, was giving her flying opportunities. After many proposals, Amelia Earhart finally married George Putnam on February 7th, 1931. Though she was married, Amelia continued her busy life. She continued to set more records. On an attempt to fly around the world solo, Amelia disappeared. She disappeared July 2nd, 1937. Many people believe that she had run out of gasoline while traveling from Lae, New Guinea to Howland Island, because her last messages sent were about a loss of fuel. She was declared dead in absentia on January 5th, 1939, even though they do not have evidence of if she was alive or not. Accomplishments. Number 1. She set the highest altitude for women on October 1922. 2. She was the first woman to fly from North America to Europe on a plane known as the Friendship. 3. She helped establish the 99s and became the first president of the Organization of Women Pilots. She was the first person to fly across the Atlantic. 4. She was the first woman to fly across the United States nonstop. 5. She was the first woman to fly the Pacific from Hawaii to California. 6. She set a record by flying from California to Mexico City nonstop. 7. She was the first person to fly from Mexico City to Newark, New Jersey nonstop. Character traits. Amelia can be described as daring for trying and setting records. She can also be described as brave, since she has attempted goals that many people have died trying. Another word to describe her is caring, because she dropped out of college to help the soldiers. Another adjective to describe her is adventurous, because back then, flying was dangerous, but she wanted to go on an adventure and fly. Interesting facts. 1. Amelia built her own roller coaster when she was a child. 2. Throughout her life, Amelia could not fully recover from a sinus infection, which kept coming back every so often. 3. In college, her friends gave her the nickname Butterball. 4. Eleanor Roosevelt was inspired by Amelia and signed up to take flying lessons. 5. Amelia was the first woman to get a pilot's license from National Aeronautic Association, or NAA. One quote that Amelia has said is, "The woman who can create her own job is the woman who will win fame and fortune." Another quote is, "Never interrupt someone doing what you said couldn't be done."
Tape it. Stop recording.